Hey, this is Greg Randolph from Decked, back here for a little Decked 101. Today's 101 video is how to take the toolbox out of the box and then how to put the toolbox in the back of your pickup truck. And so your toolbox will come like this from us, banded on a pallet. And the first thing you want to do is take it out of the box. So get out your trusty knife and go to town. You want to just obviously take the bands off. I just like to cut the box lid open on the top. So be careful you don't cut your finger or, hopefully don't cut the toolbox. If you just cut the carton like that, it'll just come right out. That's it. Ta-da, your toolbox. Okay, so now that you've opened the box, cut it open, you have all 10 fingers still. You'll notice that there's some tape that we've applied to the product to keep it, we ship the lid unlocked or unlatched. This tape is keeping the lid in a position here. There's a piece of foam, we'll show you in a minute, you need to remove to get the box to operate correctly. But yeah, it's pretty simple, just pull all this tape off. When you open up the lid to the toolbox, you'll notice there's a foam block that I mentioned earlier right here. That needs to be removed for the lid to actually latch. It's a pretty stiff piece of foam. So you take that out, and then if you have a ladder, we were too cheap, I guess we didn't buy a ladder this time. There's a bunch of tape that you need to take off the ladder, and that's all you have to do to get the ladder to work. In the hardware kit here, a couple key items. One, the little rubber doodads that sit on the bed rail. And inside here you've got the clamps as well. These will clamp the toolbox to the bed rail of your truck. And then another little important item that we included, you might be going like, what is this? So I'll show you how to use this in a minute, but this is basically a card that helps you remember not to smash your backup camera with the toolbox lid if you have one of those in the back of your cab when the lid opens, but we'll get to that in a minute. So now you've done everything you need to do for the next step, which is to get your good buddy Jimmy, and put that toolbox in your truck. Okay, so now basically to install your toolbox, you're gonna need two tools. You're gonna need a power drill with a 3/8 bit or a 3/8 driver on the end. It's probably gonna help to have an extension bit on it, and a nice Phillips screwdriver. The next step involves putting the rubber gaskets on the bed rail. They're gonna go on there like this with the down hanging flange on the inside of the bed. So give one to your buddy. And then you just go over there and set those right at the cab side end of the bed. Try to line them up nice and flat. And then it's a moment you've been waiting for. You can put your toolbox in position. And you just want to lift it up and eyeball as best you can initially down on top of that gasket. Make sure you didn't knock it off on accident. And then what you want to do is position the toolbox obviously side to side evenly, and then kind of straight down the back. And this is where that little cardboard doodad I was showing you earlier is going to come in. Said it was going to help you make sure that when you open the toolbox lid, it doesn't smash into your backup camera or just the cab lights or whatever might be back there in the electronics and lighting department. And it's pretty simple. You just peel the adhesive backer off, or the adhesive cover off of it, and just stick it there. When that lid opens, you just don't want to hit that. If you're hitting it, it's not a good thing. We give you, in case it gets opened violently by someone or something happens, you just don't want to smash that thing. So, okay, so now that you're happy with where the lid's going, it's not going to smash your backup camera or cab light. The next step is to get your drill with the 3/8 inch socket on it. And like I said earlier, it's helpful to have an extension on there because you'll see you'll need a little bit of reach. And then we provide 4 clamps. We do recommend clamping using all 4 clamps. So you're going to put 2 clamps on each side. There's a variety of 5 different locations inside the truck toolbox. So you'll be able to locate the clamps where you want them, and those different slot or locations are in there just because depending on what the geometry of your truck bed's like, it's really hard to predict where you're gonna be able to put a clamp. Obviously, it's best to put the clamps further apart than closer together. But it's pretty self-explanatory. And then also do make sure when you put the clamp in there, you use the washer below the screw head, and that the clamp, obviously the bend in the clamp is gonna grab the lip of your bed rail facing like that on this side. Okay, so you're gonna grab your bracket and your bolt there, and it's gonna go like this so that the bend is opening up towards the bed rail. Slide it in, find the slot that works best, and then install the bolt into your clamp, get it started, and then just grab your screw gun and tighten it on down. Just be careful there, be sure to not go too fast and to make sure it has a good purchase on the bed rail. And get it good and tight, and you're good to go. You just do that 3 more times. And like I said, just make sure you try to choose slots that are furthest apart, and do use all 4 brackets, and make sure the washers are installed with the bolt on top of the bracket. Okay, so now that your toolbox is securely clamped in the back of your pickup truck with all 4 clamps, reach down, get your D-box, and inside here is a handy little item we call the snack tray. And this is a little small parts tool holder thing that goes inside the toolbox, sits on the bed rail, and you put your gloves, your tape measure, whatnot in there. Little package inside with 4 screws, and it's a really simple install. You're gonna need a Phillips screwdriver, as mentioned earlier, and you're gonna put the snack tray inside the toolbox on the bed rail. The only thing you wanna make sure you do is you turn it so that when you're installing the snack tray, it says decked in the bottom, that decked reads correctly to you. Don't put it in backwards. So it goes in like this, you can see decked. Take your screwdriver and your screws, and it just locks inside those slots where you'll see the bolts for your clamps are in those slots. This thing just sits down inside there, make sure it's all nice and clicked in, and then the screws just go into the 4 holes. All right, so that's everything you need to know about how to take a deck toolbox out of a cardboard box and put it in the back of a pickup truck. Thanks for tuning in to Deck 101. As always, if you have any questions or concerns or just need a friendly person to talk to, hit us up in the comments of this video. Social media, DMs, comments, whatever, we're there for you. You can call us, email us, send us a love letter. Stoked to be working with you, and thanks for tuning in, and enjoy your new deck toolbox.